Shen, Po, P-O, and Hun, H-U-N, are all part of a very basic and critically important way that you can actually help maintain your health. Last, in Maintenance 19, I talked about alternatives. I should have mentioned meditation, and I should have mentioned acts of kindness and compassion, because basically these can impact your health. The heart, calming Shen, S-H-E-N, Shen. Shen is related to the heart. Shen is the mechanism that the heart has of being able to help the body control a state of mind. It helps you sleep at night. It helps induce calmness. The main emotions of the heart and of Shen are joy and laughter. And laughter is critically important, not just because it feels good, but there again, feels good. That's the whole goal of all of this, is feeling good. Proper health is how to keep your body feeling good. And laughter, laughter can help you. You take in a breath in a certain way when you laugh, and your brain is changed. The chemistry of your brain is actually changed. So joy and laughter are very important components to health. And one of the critical parts of this, and Shen relates to the heart, and then Po relates to the lungs, or the corporeal soul. And the lungs are what are the breathing. And there are very strong groups that believe and practice only breathing for health, that you can control, and I believe it. Your mind, your heart, your energy by the breath, quieting the breath, the depth of the breath, the way you breathe, the type of air you choose to breathe, all of that can impact the lungs, and that's where the corporeal soul is housed, and it's also called Po. And so lungs and breathing, just simple breathing, and this also gets to meditation. Meditation, calming the Shen, taking deep breaths, and stilling the mind, all can alone really impact your health. There are herbs that help with this. Schizandra and hawthorne and oat straw. I make a calm Shen tea on purpose because it helps contribute to the calming of the heart, the cooling of the heart. But breathing is a mechanism which, of course, there are herbs that can help quiet the mind, because racing mind can be a real problem. It can impact sleep, and it can impact worry, and worry is another emotion that has to be watched. And so these are indications, the emotions, which can be controlled through breathing, through laughter, and through meditation, all can impact organs, and they can impact them seriously. If you get too angry, if you're in a situation that causes anger all the time, understandable anger, you need to change that situation, because anger alone can it really impacts the liver and the gallbladder, and it in turn will make you angry, and then you respond to situations with anger, and that can be a serious problem. But it also then leads to stagnation, key stagnation, and other problems in both the liver and gallbladder. So anger is another emotion. Worry impacts the spleen. If you worry too much, you can impact the spleen, and you can impact the liver. The kidneys. Fear impacts the kidneys even more. emotions impact, because if you think about it, think for a moment over how you feel when you're afraid. It impacts, you can feel a constriction in your heart, and without realizing it, it's constricting and moving to the kidneys. It constricts action. Then worry really impacts the spleen. And people that have a lot of spleen symptoms, they often have a lot of worry in their lives. That's just a straight, and basically, if working with a client, myself and working with a client, I often will, when that shows, it's okay, you have worry. What's causing the worry? You need to get at the cause of the worry. You can take herbs to help clear up the impacts, but often you need to change the cause of the worry, to change the cause of the fear, to look at it differently. So Hun is that ethereal soul that's housed in the liver that shows in the eyes. You often have noticed that they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. The ethereal soul in Chinese herbalism is considered sort of the overall spirit soul that continues to live even after death. It's the soul that guides us through so much, and that's why keeping the liver and gallbladder clear is important. And if you are experiencing anger or depression, that's often liver symptoms, and you need to clear that. If you're experiencing a lack of decisiveness, a lack of courage, those are signs of gallbladder, and you need to clear the gallbladder duct. Those are all very important to the overall governance of the system. And so emotions are tantamount to health. And I really should have started with these, because everything from anger and depression, fear, worry, pensiveness, discouragement, some people use that word, and laughter and joy. You can actually have too much joy. You can have a person, it's considered a symptom. You probably know someone, and if this is you, that's okay. Just look at it as a symptom. It's a symptom. The person that, if you're in a group and they're always laughing, you say anything and they start laughing. And that can be a symptom of an imbalance in the Shen, an imbalance in the heart. It's an immediate indication of probably, I would look, and the tongue would help also indicate what's going on, and other emotions. Do they have heart yin deficiency? What is causing the deficient Shen that's causing too much laughter? In the same way, the emotions of the Hun can be indicated. And so basically, emotions can help guide you. If you notice you're experiencing way too much anger and you're really not sure, that maybe a couple years ago you had a situation that caused anger, but we got past that. If you're still experiencing anger, that previous external anger probably caused blood or key stagnation in the liver, and that means that you will continue to experience anger that doesn't make sense until you clear the liver. And there are herbs that can do this, bupleurum and peony. Make sure you take oyster shell with it. There are different, that should probably be done with the help of an experienced medical herbalist, but you can do that. Just like you can help clear the lungs, keep the lungs clear so that the corporeal spirit key of Po is able to help guide and lead the entire physical system through the breath, through increasing ki, because every time you breathe, it helps direct the ki throughout the system. It's very important. So Shen, Po, and Hun are all very critical. There's an author, Deepak Chopra, that has written on these subjects a great deal. And I turned to his works because I had periods where, doubt, fear, lack of willpower, different emotions I was experiencing, and I began to realize that my thinking was off, or I thought my thinking was off. I felt like I wasn't looking at things in a way that helped me. And so for some reason I ran across his stuff and started to read it. It caught my eye, and he had a number of points, and I had to read them over and over. I mean, like 15 times. But over time, his different laws of health, what I call his laws of health, learning when you have to accept something, and not accept it and not change it, but accept that it exists for the now, that if you're going to change it, it's going to have to be over time, that it's not something you can instantly change today. Learning learning to accept that and stop fighting the fact that it does exist, or that you can't change it for the moment, and that it's going to take time. It frees your system. It frees your brain. You relax. And you feel better. And getting back to the feeling better is important. And so acceptance, the issue of no judgment, which most people say, no, they refuse to get to that. I found that, and it wasn't that you can't disagree. It's in the essence, where do things like hate or judging someone get in the way of your own well-being? It may not impact them at all, whoever it is or whoever they are. They don't care what you feel. It's not that your actions might not change. You might try to rid them from your life one way or another, but it's how you control the emotions related to them so that whatever's happening externally doesn't impact you as much. It's not that you don't react when people say or do kind or terrible or violent things. You do, and you have emotions, but you try to regroup, and you try, because if you let it go for too long, it really impacts your health. So think about that. Think about Shen and Po and Hun and laughter. Look up Deepak Chopra. I hope this maintenance series section of my series has been of use. I'm going to move into chronic and specific next time, and so be looking for those. I hope you find those of interest. They may impact you or someone you know. This is Peggy Miller. I shout out to MCAT again for helping with this, and for YouTube for letting me start to put them on. You take care, and I'll be talking to you. Have a good week.